Today we're going to cover Chapter 28. It's titled The Indexing Concept, the Little Engine That Could. If you're like most retirees, you probably want to make money, but you probably don't want to lose any money. We found talking with thousands and thousands of retirees and soon-to-be retirees, that's a common thread they all have. They want to make as much money as they can, but they're no longer willing to risk their principal. They don't want to take what we call investment risk. So if you look at what's called an indexing concept, which will be embedded as a benefit inside of a fixed indexed annuity and other products, you're able to make money when the market goes up, but you don't lose any of your current or previous gains when the market goes down. So that means your principal is protected from investment risk, and you get to participate in a portion of the index gains, which that's a great thing for retirees. No losses to the principal, but potential upside when the market does well. So if you look at the S&P 500 index again, from 1999 through 2013, we know there was tremendous volatility. In 2000, 2001, 2002, lost almost 50%. In 2008, lost almost 40%. And overall, increased by about 2.75% per year for 15 years. So it's important that you avoid those types of losses if you are a retiree. And as you look through this chapter, you'll see some graphs that show those types of losses. If instead of using a completely volatile, no downside protection type of plan like an S&P 500 index, what if you used an indexing concept that gave you a maximum 6% annual rate of return? No matter how high the S&P went up, the maximum rate of return you could earn was 6 in this example, but when the S&P 500 index went down, you earned 0. Doesn't sound that exciting because a 6% maximum rate of return probably won't get you anywhere is what you're thinking, but a 0% safety net does make us feel good. Well, if you look at what the S&P 500 index increased by during that time period, you had some good gains. You had a 19.53% gain in 1999. Well, during that year, if the S&P went up by 19.53, you only earned 6. So you have to understand that you would be giving up upside. Now, I don't like how I started that. Boom. So what we want to make sure we understand is as the market had major decreases, you were able to flatline or not lose 1 penny of your principal, not be subjected to any investment risk due to the benefits provided by what's called the indexing concept. If you look through this chapter, you'll find some great information, and you can see how it works. So let's look at that example of the S&P 500 index from 1999 through 2013 and compare that with an indexing concept that had a 0% floor, meaning you couldn't lose anything when the market went down, but it only had a 6% maximum cap, meaning you couldn't earn more than 6% when the market went up. So for example, in 1999, the S&P went up 19.53%. You would only go up 6. So the S&P went up 19, you went up 6. But in 2000, the S&P went down 10, you earned 0. In 2001, the S&P went down 13%, you earned 0. In 2002, the S&P went down 23%, you earned 0. Those are great years. But in 2003, the S&P went up by 26, you only earned 6. In 2013, the S&P went up by 29%, you only earned 6. When you add all those up, $100,000 in an S&P, if you could get that same return rate, would have been worth $150,354. The same $100,000 with an indexing concept giving you a 0% floor but up to a 6% maximum annual rate of return would be worth $169,961. So the main goal, the main educational piece here to remember is that nothing is as important as eliminating your losses and making sure you have the best chance for financial success. And that's what the indexing concept is. It eliminates your losses while it gives you the opportunity to earn a percent or a portion of what the market earns.